But anyway,
Hey.
hi. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
I'm stressed, but
Why are you stressed?
because too many people want me to work for them.
Oh my gosh.
Which is a good problem to have. It's a good thing to be stressed about, but
You
like
know what's
it is
that's
fucking
funny.
stressful.
I mean, it's not funny because obviously, yeah, stress. But what's funny about it is that
Tell me the
Jupiter.
astrology. Yep.
I'm ready, right? Jupiter. Okay, so Jupiter is literally Jupiter's about to be in Pisces tomorrow.
Okay.
Either tomorrow or the next day. I can't remember if I think it's the 13th.
I'm trying to make sure that I'm not showing any logos because no free brand deals.
Fair. Okay.
But this is
So,
that stuff I sent you a picture of. Sorry to cut you
oh,
off.
hell yeah. No. That's amazing. I'm deeply intrigued by it. So,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Is it good?
I was
No,
gonna
that's fine.
say you should come over and try mine before you go ahead and
Mm,
drop. It's inexpensive, but before you drop $20 on a case, I should probably
fair.
try the sampler that I've already purchased because I don't know if I'd buy again, but I'm also not a big I like seltzer. I do not like spike seltzer. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. I'm very
Yes.
picky with my spike seltzer.
Me too, because most of the time it's too sweet. Like
So
I wish
sweet.
spiked seltzer was just seltzer, alcohol, and some kind of fruit juice flavor. Fruit, or a squeeze of fucking lime. Like seriously, something real, please, because I understand sodas have to have all sorts of shit to keep them in the cans and whatever. That's fine. But just I don't know why this is sweet.
I know I said no free brand deal, so I'm not going to say the name of it, but my current
That's
job is a few blocks away from a distillery who said that they're planning their main product is vodka. They sell a vodka that's distilled in Philly. And the rep came to our restaurant to we did a vodka tasting, like not vodka tastings, it was just their vodka, but we did a vodka tasting. And the rep said that they are doing canned cocktails and it'll be like
Ooh.
high noon esque, like vodka soda type, but that exact thing where it's literally just it's not
Just
like Rose's
the
lime syrup, it's like actual lime juice is their
yeah, like
line.
that's all it needs to be. Literally, that's all it needs to be.
I agree. You know me. I'm not a big, I know we're way off track, but I'm not a big sweet person. I like sweets, I like desserts, and I like candy. I do not like sweet drinks. I don't like heavy sugar content alcoholic beverages. Like any champagne or wine I drink has to be very dry.
Ooh yeah,
I
dry.
don't like sweet.
I am a dry wine person. Also, like I can't handle most of the sweet stuff. I feel like I drank too much Moscato in college to where it just ruined me. And I didn't even really like it then. It was just so
It
quick
was
to
easy to
down.
drink.
Yeah. Most of the alcohol I've drank forever. Is it one of those things where you drink it and you're kind of like, this is good. All right. And then you're like halfway through, you're like, maybe this isn't
No.
good. And then by the end, you're like, I'm not sure. Whatever. Oh, kombucha girl. God, that meme lived such a long life.
So it's confusing when you drink it. The initial, the first flavor you get, it's like, oh, this is exactly what it is. This is
Yep.
the flavor it is supposed to be. Wow, that's good.
Yes.
Perfect drugstore, the perfect dupe type of deal, right. And then as you swallow it, it has that diet soda aftertaste, and then it tapers off into flat seltzer. So it's
Yeah.
good for the
Yeah.
first 2 seconds of the sip, and it's like, oh, but it's you constantly have to chug it.
It's like, well, it's good. You want to know why it's probably good? Is it's when you take your first whiff or two as you're drinking it, it smells like root beer. So your brain, like the root beer smell, is activating other parts of your brain that smell. It's like, wow, that's good. I loved root beer as a kid. I love all that stuff. But then as it drinks, you're starting to get the syrupy flavor, the flatness. Like it's just so weird. But anyway, so that being said,
Yeah.
Jupiter is going to be in Pisces, in because we are Gemini risings. Jupiter or Pisces is what rules our 10th house. Our 10th house is our career space and the most public kind of point in your chart where everyone kind of can see what you're like. That's the outward projection of your career, right? So that being said, with Jupiter there, for me, it's funny how it's kind of ending up, especially since I'm a freelance style worker, it's for me definitely pointing to finances. It's going to cross over my midheaven and it's going to get to my moon. It's going to trine my Mars in the second house, which is the second house rules personal finances as well. It's going to trine my Mercury in the sixth house, which also rules work stuff. So, that being said, for me, I'm like, makes sense that I'm about to make a bunch of money during Jupiter and Pisces, but also probably have a lot of opportunities to the point where, like, eventually I have to be careful with burnout and like saying yes to too much, overextending myself. But it's nice because I kind of have the perfect prep to like do so since Jupiter is only going to be in Pisces until mid-July, before it retrogrades back into Aquarius until the end of the year, and or like mid-December. And so that being said, when that Jupiter retrograde hits, I'm planning a long road trip with Olivia. So I won't be
Nice.
working. I will
Yeah.
have all of the money that I just made from that crazy month. Basically, June is going to be, I already know June is going to be wild for me. So that being said, I'm going to have all that money and I'm going to get to go spend it and do my road trip and take time off and enjoy that because Olivia is obviously a teacher, so has the summer off.
Love that.
And anyway, for you, Jupiter. So Jupiter just means like many, like multiple, like expanding, like huge, like large anything. So the fact that I'm the one making the like I'm having this money stuff come in for you, you're gonna have it in your 10th. But I have my midheaven and my moon there. You don't have any Pisces placements, so for you, it's just Jupiter rolling through your 10th. Literally multiple job offers, multiple career paths that you could choose, tons of them. Jupiter's just going to throw them at you. We're going to talk finally about some Bachelor stuff because we are a Bachelor podcast. I hope everybody listening to us didn't forget. I know it's been a few episodes since we've like really talked about Bachelor stuff, but
There's some sprinkles here and there.
yeah, sprinkles. But now we are getting like so close to Katie season, and also like summer is popping. Like we're getting spring. Everyone, I don't know. The content is a flowing with the batch people, and Mother's Day was a big one, right?
I mean, not even just the content though. Like out and about, people are going. You literally saw a Bachelor Nation
Oh my God,
member
yeah!
out in real fucking life. So like
I did.
things are
Yeah. And
happening
also,
again.
and I DM'd him from our podcast on Instagram and I was like, or no, I didn't DM him. I posted the story and I was
Did he
like,
respond?
hey, yeah, he responded. And he laughed and goes, ha ha ha, musical chairs. Because, like, so what happened? All right. So obviously went to Corner Bistro, like you told me, West Village, because, and this I don't even feel weird saying because the West Village is where we all know New York people, the New York Bachelor crew people hang out in the West Village all the time. So
Which
go
is
for it if you're
weird
trying to.
because I feel like
It
Pete. I
is
know Pete
weird.
lives in like Hell's Kitchen, or like Pete lives in Midtown. I guess I
Yeah,
don't know,
which he definitely lives in Midtown. It's boring as fuck because he lives
but
like,
he belongs in Murray Hill, and we know he
yeah,
belongs in Murray Hill.
yep,
So he
he'll
should
be
just
there.
go to Murray Hill. Peter, if you're listening, just hang out in Murray Hill. There are a
Just go.
ton of bars over there, and you will find your tribe. I promise. I
They are all
promise
there
that's
waiting
where
for
they're
you.
at.
All of them in their Patagonia vests.
So many vests. So much
So many.
gingham.
So it's absurd. So but so they all hang out in the West Village. So if you're trying to go spot some
Yeah.
Bachelor people, just go hang out in the West Village. But
Any street with
I
cobblestone, with like the cobble streets.
it's the cute streets, the Instagram content. Also, this is so the East Village is a little too like college-y, which is funny because the West Village has a fuckload. It's like NYU is big all over there too, but the East Village is like the messy. parts where people go to get drunk on like St. Mark's and they are like
Sure.
stumbling
Yeah.
around and they are like so wasted. Whereas the West Village is almost like it's like a little classier
It's a
drunk. You know,
sophisticated older brother.
when I'm fucked up in the West Village, I feel a little cool. I feel New York. I don't know what it is.
I mean, so listeners, there's a bar that Shannon frequents that Shannon likes a lot that is literally the other corner of the block from the bar where I frequent and like I hang
Oh,
out.
well, yeah,
Like
I
I
was just
hang
say
out
y'all
at
Cubby Hole.
yeah, okay, so Shannon hangs out at Cubby Hole
Yeah,
and
Cubby
I
Hole, the most
am
iconic lesbian bar.
yeah, and I am I mean Shannon knows. I literally texted Shannon and I was like, this guy should be working behind the bar tonight. Like if you see him, tell him I say hello. Like I am a frequenter of Corner Bistro and Shannon is a frequenter of the Cubby Hole, which are literally neighbors. And there's something they're not necessarily divey, but they're both kind of divey in terms of
They
like
are
overall
definitely,
sophistication. But do you not
yes.
feel fucking fancy when you're walking out of those bars at 4:00 in the morning? You're like, I'm
I'm in
untouchable.
the
I'm a
West
fucking celebrity. Like
Literally, yes.
there's
I
something
love
about
it.
fucking that
I
West
also
Forest
love
little
me.
stretch.
I also love me a Henrietta Hudson, which is also the West Village, but it's closer on Hudson Street. But man, yeah,
So
no,
what you're
there
telling me is I should
is,
start working on that corner again. That
yeah,
sounds terrible, but I
but
should start
it's,
working for.
yeah, it's that corner. It's a magic corner. But anyway, yeah. So I walk up to Corner Bistro and we go to sit down. And I was and then so Jordan from Tasha season. Don't know if y'all remember him. He's a little Virgo.
Little
Uh
cutie.
he was one of the
He was Chicken Little.
oh, wow. Great memory. But yeah, so he was super nice. He had the glasses a lot, wore glasses a lot, had the like curlier hair. He was definitely a sweetie, right? Seemed sweet on the show. So he was there and I immediately recognized it was like honestly, this was my confirmation of knowing how obsessed I am with this show to the point where he was in a hat, sunglasses, a mask in the first part before he took it off. Like I saw him in the mask first, and a jersey. He was in a jersey from San Francisco. Like not even anything where I literally remember looking him up being like, he's not from there. He was just visiting. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just was like, this man, he was not as recognizable, but I immediately recognized him and I was like, damn, in the pit. So yes, I posted on a story. I tagged him. I was like, hey, thanks, because we sat down at a table, but it was right by the door. We're outside. So it's right by the door going in. So, it was just a lot of in and out. And they sat down at a table that was like a high top under their little awning thing. And it had two chairs at it. And I remember being like, oh shit, we were trying to sit at the table, but then your friend was like, before I realized who he was like, oh, sorry guys, gotta get them on it, gotta get them there. And I was like, oh my god, that's Jordan. But then they had more people, so they ended up moving, and then we took that table. So it was literally like he made the joke to me in the DMs about musical chairs because
Oh my
that's
god,
what
I
it
love
was.
that.
And when we moved and took the table, Jordan was the one. I heard him as I'm walking there narrating it. He goes to his friends. Like, imagine like you're talking to your friends about something and you're watching people. I heard him go, oh, but I think they're going to take it. Yep, they're going to take the table. Because we were like
Okay, Jordan,
eyeing
you're
it.
funny. Okay.
No, and so then everyone laughed and I like
Well, that
laughed,
means that he
turned up
was.
and like laughed at him.
That means that he was noticing you as you were noticing him, like because he already had it in his
Yes.
mind, like these people want that table. Then he was paying
Yep.
attention to you. Okay,
Yep.
all right,
He was
Jordan.
being a very Virgo person, trying to make everybody organized in the right spot so everybody's happy. But anyway, I didn't want to be like that person, so I just like posted the story, and he was with like two girls and then some other dude that showed up, and so I was just like,
You
not.
didn't want to be
And then
like, can we take a
yeah,
picture? But you're gonna be
be
like,
like, oh my god, I have a Bachelor podcast. Like, I mean, yeah, Jordan was great.
I feel like I do actually remember audio in a podcast when we were talking about them comparing him to Chicken Little. When I was like, he's actually my favorite. Like, he seems like the most. Maybe not my
He
favorite, but
always
like he was
I
definitely
always
level-headed and very
yeah.
grounded.
Yes. I always thought that too about I don't think we ever I'm genuinely now thinking about all the times when we talked about Tasha's season and I'm like I feel like we didn't say a bad
We
thing
didn't say
about him.
anything
Like
bad about you, Jordan. Can't remember if we
I have
praised
no
you.
negative opinion or memory or thought, which is amazing. But I remember how cute you looked in the glasses. Like I love when any player, like when anybody wears their glasses. Like I was even rewatching Peter's season and I remember Victoria P, as annoying as she was, she rocked, remember the blonde. So
Victoria
Victoria
P.
F
Yep,
was
yep,
the
yep,
brunette,
yep.
but the blonde one, she would wear her glasses on group dates a lot. And I kind of loved, I remember watching it, just being like, yeah, I love this. Like normalize the fact that people wear glasses. Why is there no glasses
Because you're
representation on the show?
so concerned. Shannon, when I did Chopped, I had a 6 a.m. call time. I was up at 4 o'clock because I knew that I most definitely needed to do yoga. I most definitely needed to center myself. But you don't get makeup artists. But you know you're gonna be on fucking camera all day. So I'm like, I need to like prime and bake and like make sure that I have like an inch worth of makeup on my face just to make sure I look normal because I know I'm gonna be on camera all day. And like you don't get to see what you fucking look like. So I agree with you. I think it's like really, really refreshing when you see people with like glasses who like
Yep.
aren't wearing contacts or when they have their hair in the mess. A lot of women on Matt's season. It wasn't like
Yeah.
very
Well, and that's
natural
the
looking,
thing
but
is
it was
that
more natural looking than we've seen in the past.
and that's what I'll say too is that in the past we have even seen women looking more cozy, disheveled, like pajamas with glasses on, but only when they're filmed in the group, like reading date cards in that weird interim, never out like dressed up on a group date or
When you know
somewhere
you're
where
getting camera time.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Whereas like yes,
Yeah, I agree.
so I always enjoyed that. So Jordan and Victoria P, shout out to wearing your glasses on camera. Anyway,
Anyway,
so yeah, I ran into one. So that was that. And then let's see. What other random bachelor? Okay, so Mother's Day. Obviously, everybody was posting about their moms, but my favorite mom post was that Kevin and Astrid from Bachelor in Paradise, who, as everybody knows in Bachelor Nation, they are just like peak example of like minding their business, moving to Canada, and being like, okay, bye. Like, they did it right.
we got what we needed from the
Anyway,
show and it's time to move on.
yep,
Perfect.
yep, and
That's very
they
for the right
announced
reasons. Like
extremely
finding love
right.
and then deciding you don't want to be in the spotlight that is the epitome of for the right reasons.
Yep. And they get their little influencing stuff off now. And I guess, Kevin's going to be the bartender on Bachelor in Paradise Canada, but it's like
Who else could
they
they
are
asked, really?
literally no one. Yeah, right. But other than that, it's like very like they are so chill and I appreciate that. And anyway, they announced that they are pregnant, which is so exciting because first of all, they're going to have the cutest baby that's probably going to look like like they're I don't know, they're so brunette.
They are an incredibly like they're hot. They're both hot individuals, but they are both like such a commercially attractive couple. Like they're not like
Insane, yeah.
weird supermodel hot. Like they're like the family that you see in like a coffee commercial, like waking up in the morning and like
Yes.
look at this sunrise, look at our Folgers. Like that's Kevin and Astrid. And I can't wait to see what
Yep. I
genetic
I know.
magic
Well,
is.
and
Yeah.
and so genetic magic, they conceived with IVF.
Wait, I didn't actually know that.
Because
I saw the post, but I guess I didn't read the
yeah.
caption.
Yeah, so they conceived with IVF and they both were talking about openly. They were like, "Yeah, we have had a lot of
But
fertility
she is
issues
pregnant.
and
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
she's
okay.
pregnant. The photo was of the sonogram, so that's for sure. It's not like with Ashley I when she was posting about going off. Oh my god, this was like probably over the summer, but it was like she was literally going off. She was posting about going off birth control and then literally starting the kind of journey of pregnancy almost start, like she's not pregnant, but she's starting to prep people because she's just like, yeah, we're gonna get pregnant. And it's just like, this was the right way to do it. We're like, yep, we've been working through IVF this whole time, but now we're super excited to announce that we're pregnant. And then in the caption too, Astrid was so cute. She's like, I also know how difficult it can be to see pregnancy announcements. Like, and I want everyone to know that like we are here, like we're here for you. We understand that everything's so difficult and all that stuff. And we want to share the fact that we did IVF and that it's just as, they didn't say this part, but like, IVF gets a lot of shit, especially because celebrities use it all the time because, they can afford it.
Yeah.
Which is, obviously it's the biggest thing is
Like
money
accessibility
and
in
everything.
general.
But like as a concept, like IVF, gets shit for being that idea of like it's a created baby
It's
that is
not real.
implanted
Yeah.
into you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Like
didn't
test tube
conceive
baby
that baby
things.
out of love. As if sex is synonymous with love. Seems like a lot of love and care went into this IVF situation, you feel?
Well, that's
So
what's so
anyway,
funny
I'm just
is
super happy for
like,
them.
yeah, someone had to spend so much money and time, and like those inject like your hormone injections are painful, like they hurt, like the
Yeah.
effort that someone is going to, whereas like you can absolutely just get knocked up. You can just like go
Yeah.
out and like have a one night stand and then wake up pregnant the next morning, like you know what I mean?
Accidental pregnancies are literally I feel like they are more common
If anything,
than literally any other kind of
no, but like
pregnancy.
if anything, like it's funny that you say that, and I know that it's not you saying that. Like I know you're saying like societal opinions and like other
Yeah,
random
right.
perspectives, but it's like the amount of time and effort that goes into IVF. Like the fact that someone would even have the audacity to say that that's like not a baby made with love, and it's like, sure,
Nah.
if
So
you say so.
I'm literally so hype
I
for
just love them
them
so
to
much. I want
give
them to be
birth.
happy forever.
I live for bachelor couple babies. The ones that like this, because there are many. And there's
It's a really
another
great segue too.
bachelor I know there's another bachelor baby that has literally, and it's not her fault, but it is her parents' fault for making me feel poor through a child. Because Alessi had her Alessi Lewandike,
Lion Dyke.
the fetus Lyandike, whatever, the fetus child offspring of Ari and Lauren.
Who I personally cannot stand. They are my least favorite of the
Yeah.
they are in a tie for dead last with Ashley and Jared.
Yeah. I sorry, I went to go look at Alessi's Instagram, not Lauren's.
Oh, I know.
Alessi's. Because I wanted to see if I could find if they posted her birth time. Because yes, I'm a psycho person. Yes, this is like a reflex for me. I actually can't help it. It's like any single person posts a birth time with their new baby, I'm looking at that baby's chart. I don't make any kind of
Why else would
assumptions.
they
I
tell
just
you
like
the time of birth? Why else
give
do you
me
care
the birth
about that?
time. You're giving me the info. I'm just gonna plug it in real quick. Okay. So I was trying to see if they posted Alessi's birth time with her announcement on her post, but now I'm thinking it might just be on Lauren's page. So I'm about to do a deep Instagram scroll because I want to find her chart. But either way, what I do know about Alessi is she is a fucking Gemini.
What are Lauren and
Wait.
Ari?
Yes. So Ari is a Virgo and whoa, how do I not know this off the top of my head?
Because there's so
Lauren.
many Laurens.
Um yeah, Lauren Bushnell birthday. Because yes, I remember her maiden name. What? Oh, that's Bushnell. Whoops, wrong Lauren. Bushnell is Ben Higgins' ex. Lauren. Fuck it.
What was
Lewandike.
her maiden
Birthday.
name?
What's her name? Burnham. Wow.
Burnham.
See, I was so.
Burnham.
Oh, and she is a Scorpio. Wait, November 20th.
I mean, good luck for them as Alessi is growing
Well, a
up.
Scorpio and a
No, not as a
Virgo.
couple.
Scorpio and a Virgo. Oh,
Like as parents.
yes.
I know, like I like my mom. Like I enjoy my mom as a person, and we had a very difficult time
yeah.
when I was going through puberty.
Yes.
I am just based on the astrology of it all. I'm curious how this is gonna go.
I'm literally looking up Lauren's full chart right now because I feel like there's something air involved that makes her so like, you know, her. Where
Her.
she's like, when she just speaks, like think about her speaking voice,
to.
where she just like,
Please don't
like,
make me think
like
about these things. I have to go to sleep soon.
Virginia Beach.
Right, I forgot she was from. Wait, what?
Yep.
Yes, wait, no, because it was tea that she knew, not knew, but knew of Victoria Fuller, but it was never aired because she was one of the people that like was gossiping about her from back home, but they never talked about it because they knew that she was one of the last remaining women.
Yep. I remember that as well. There we go. Virginia Beach, VA. Okay, give it to me. God damn. She's a Taurus moon. And a Scorpio. Yes, Scorpio sun, Taurus moon, Scorpio Mars. Yeah. And Sagittarius Mercury. Wow. That's why she can't communicate. She had her Saturn return already. Saturn at 1 degree Aquarius. Honestly, I could see her. The chart that I pulled without the time, like I didn't put a time in, just pulled me up at Cancer Rising, and TBH, I could see that for her. Yeah, she definitely is big mom energy and has those cheeks. But also I could see her being like a Leo rising, a Libra rising, any of those general all that stuff. But I don't know. Maybe Scorpio rising though too. But Mars on the ascendant. I don't know. Anyway, but Alessi is a Gemini, so I wonder if Lauren's Gemini. I wonder if her 5th house is in Gemini. But also, the people who end up on the show tend to have 7th house action. So maybe she does have Moon in 7th with a Scorpio rising. Okay, anyway, down the thought rabbit hole on that one. But Alessi had a birthday party, and again, it made me feel poor because it was like, okay,
Tell me
I'm about to pull her Instagram up. Did you see any
when
of
we
it
were talking for listeners as well, when we were talking about like things to talk about today and Bachelor news to talk about today, I knew about virtually none of it.
I love being the bringer of the news. The journalist, the reporter here. Oh, good. I hear fireworks in the background because it's almost summer, and Brooklyn would not be summer in Brooklyn without fireworks.
I'm not even a Brooklynite, and I know that.
So I'm just gonna describe just this first image from the post, and I'm gonna see how your face goes. So I'm gonna describe it all right. So the backdrop, they're outdoors definitely like in a backyard, but probably in their backyard. But there's a large balloon arch of pink and purple and orange balloons. With between it is big letters, not the lettered balloons, but the letters with the light bulbs through them, like the marquee letters. That's huge. Taller than Lauren, HBD Alessi, all in those words. Okay. And then obviously Ari and Lauren, in front or behind a pony that is decorated like a unicorn with a unicorn horn on it. A white pony, clearly, because aesthetic is everything. And Alessi is on the pony, wearing a fairy outfit with wings, and they are all smiling very happily. And now I will show it to you for the YouTube. There you go. Look at that. Poor. I'm poor. Anyway, so the caption Oh, and here's her little cake
No.
too.
Stop
Pink
it.
cake, nice, boring little classic 2-tier cake, pink ombre, but ombre with butterflies and roses. But the caption, happy early B-day to my little butterfly princess. Last one as an only child, so had to do it up. If only as the elder child, this is what
Your last
happened
hurrah before your brother showed
before.
up. If only.
Because, and the thing about it is, unless he doesn't know shit, like, unless he's what,
So
3?
that's what I
Not
don't
even
get.
3, 2?
And I know people say that they do it for the pictures and they do it for the parents and all that kind of stuff, but like truly and genuinely, I
Oh my god, she's only turning 2.
my earliest memory is from like preschool, from when I was 4, maybe. So anything that happened before I was
Yeah.
4 was basically a waste of money.
Is this horse's name Destiny?
Shut up.
Pony Passion Destiny. It's got a name tag. Wow. Just swallowed my spit in shock.
I guess there had so there has to be like a level of
Oh my god, there's another horse.
privilege that maybe
Sorry,
they
I'm
don't
sorry. There's
understand.
another horse in the background of this shot. So there are at
I'm
least
sure they had
2
one of those
horses.
things with like the circling ponies, like the pet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
I've been to a party that had a pony. Like sure, great, whatever. Like who
Yeah.
cares? I don't want to say no big deal because I know that that is a big deal and that's like not accessible to everybody. But like it's been done. It's not like terribly innovative. Someone somewhere has done it before. But I guess it's just like the not famous, not super wealthy person in me that's like, why not save that money and spend it on a 16th birthday instead? And then Lori and Aaron are looking at me, or
And they're like, I don't know if, what do you mean? As if we haven't planned out the next 18 years of her SpawnCon,
no, but
that it's going to pay
exactly.
for
Like,
every single one of her
I'm
birthday
thinking about
parties.
it as like, but if you don't spend that money now, you can save that money for later. And they're just gonna look at me and be like, okay, but we're also gonna have this money later too. Like
Yeah.
this isn't
But
all of it.
also, it's
So
so much better. It's so much better to be able to tag all of your event people, like the flowers, the rental event,
how do you
the
feel about people making Instagrams for their children? Have we talked about this before? I feel like we have.
I hate it because I
Okay.
never feel it's kind of how I feel about pet Instagrams. It's not run by that. I don't feel inclined to constantly scroll and stare at pets or babies only on an Instagram that is curated by an adult human, because that child that is a baby is not posting this.
There is
Even
something,
worse,
Shannon, that distresses me on like an astronomical level. Like I should not care and I like don't care, but I do care because it really does upset me like an embarrassing amount. But when they like caption it in from the POV of the baby,
you are reading my mind. You are reading my mind. I was literally about to say that it's the worst because so
like when they
you know
write
what's funny?
letters to mom and dad, like I love when mom does this, and it's like, shut the fuck up.
So exactly that. Lauren, for Alessi's Instagram, has taken on Alessi's point of view.
Yeah.
So what you said. However, on the twins' Instagram,
No.
because she obviously has multiple, she is not. She is speaking from her point of view. 32 weeks this week. I feel like it's flying by. We'll be meeting you so soon. Today was your sister's
Well,
birthday
that's
party.
until the
Like,
twins are born, of course.
I don't know, because she was doing it from bump photos with Alessi. She was speaking from her POV.
Okay.
From Alessi's, literally, I can scroll to the first
No,
picture.
I feel like I do remember that. Like I feel like I
Yeah.
remember that happening.
Yeah, because the first picture of literally no bump, God, remember that? She goes, "Hey world, turned 11 weeks old. I'm the size of a fig." And then on the twins, God, this is next level pit. On the twins, she goes 13 weeks, we made it, second trimester, here we go. Today I was putting so from the beginning, she does her own POV on this one. So again, I'm just like, what
Maybe she learned
is
from her mistakes. I hope she did.
the difference? Also, oh my god, she went to fucking the dumb Prada Marfa desert Instagram spot
Yes,
for one of her
yeah, I
shots.
know. I
You've
know.
yeah. Anyway. So that being said, she had this birthday party and but apparently Jade and Tanner were in attendance at this party with their children. So it's like a
So
fucking
they're like friends then.
bachelor children extravaganza situation here. Wait a minute. Cuz I'm trying to see, did they post on the stories? No. Oh, well, they definitely, yeah, so they took a trip to Scottsdale, which is again where
Well, they're
they
moving.
are.
Oh, I was gonna say, because Ari and Lauren are supposedly moving to Hawaii. You remember?
I am starting to think that moving to Hawaii means living in Hawaii during these months and living in Arizona in these months, because I don't doesn't seem like they're moving,
So
which I
what
also
I
hate.
think, and this is almost like 100% assumption. I mean, not really 100%, but this is like 98%
Yeah.
assumption, just based on like other things that we know about them. I think that then are waiting until their children are born to relocate the
Oh,
entire family. And I think you're right.
see, I
I
could
think they will maintain a residence, but I think that they're going to try their best to be like 100% we are living like residents in Hawaii. Like I think they're going to get the Hawaii licensing, and like they're going to get their license plate switched over and like their IDs changed and all that shit. But I genuinely think that they're just concerned that like if something goes wrong, like we're stuck out here. I feel like that's
yeah,
what it is,
I
in my opinion.
definitely wouldn't be surprised if that was the case for sure. Or if that was definitely like involved in the
Because I also
thought.
think that they're
And
still
I
under
also
construction because the house wasn't ready when they did
yeah.
that house tour.
And I also do think too, like, with I was actually listening to one of my clients talk about pregnancy stuff and like doctors, and she was talking about how, like, how horrible it is whenever, or like how not fun, not horrible sounds very dramatic, but how like how unenjoyable it is to have a doctor deliver your baby that isn't the doctor, or at least a doctor you have been vaguely talking to
Yes.
already. So I feel like even if it wasn't Hawaii, I bet you they'd still
Would want
try
to
to birth
stay with
there.
their,
Yeah, with
yes,
whatever doctors they've
exactly.
been with. But
I agree
either
with that
way,
completely.
doesn't matter. Who fucking knows if they're moving? But either way, it's always weird to see when a child is having something that's just, and Alessi is
Well, it's like Stormy World.
there, well, and there were kids, there were Bachelor Nation kids before Alessi, but were there, you know like there were, but they weren't on Instagram, they weren't
Well, that's the thing
doing
is that like
SpongCon, they
I'm
weren't having
curious
twin
what
siblings.
I think that being this type of social media presence was going to be Lauren's reality regardless. Whether she married someone from
Yes.
her hometown or like a military man or went on to The Bachelor and married Ari, like she was going to be that mom slash like young adult who is too involved in
Yep.
social media regardless.
So, all right, the other two more things from the Bachelor world that I wanted to talk
Yes.
about, and one which I had briefly mentioned via text. So this one's a little older news. This was like a week or two ago now. But the rise and fall of exes and the city.
Yeah, okay. So talking about
So
this.
So, I it was like I said, it was like a week or two ago. Time is fake, but it was pretty recent, but not
Right.
super recent. Basically like in a news cycle vibe, you're like, that's old news. But um four of the women from that season, Kit, Chelsea, Abigail, and Piper, all posted like simultaneously on one day of each of them kind of like promoing. It was each of them had different photos of the four of them together, and then different photos like all of them singly, but it was like promoting a podcast called X's in the City, and it was directing the caption directed you to an Instagram account called X's in the City, and their first post on that Instagram account was a video that was a like pass the phone thing, and but it was like pass the phone to like it was like the Carrie, the Samantha, whatever. And so Kit is Carrie, which is annoying because yeah.
Sure. Sure thing.
Um, Kit is Carrie. It was Abigail was Samantha, which that one to me makes no sense from what we've seen of her, but also she's a Pisces, so hey, she could be a little freak. All these Pisces are little freaks, but anyway, and then Chelsea and Piper, I can't remember. Piper is Charlotte and Chelsea is Miranda. And so that was the vibe, and but they didn't give anything else other than like, we're gonna do like some kind of live, we're gonna do something, it's gonna be a podcast, some kind of something. So that happens, and then within like a couple of days it was all erased. Like the posts from their Instagrams were gone, and that actual Instagram account was gone or deactivated or whatever. And so the speculation is that it was probably nixed by producers because most likely all four of them will be on Paradise. And I think that even though everyone's hanging out, I think that maybe so there's something in the contract or who knows, but like starting something like that, especially so kind of like related, like exes in this, like related to the fact that they're all exes of Matt James, like I wonder if that's some kind of contractual bullshit kept them, and like maybe producers were like, hey, you can't do this right now. And so, but anyway, it's gone, and it's a big question mark now because they haven't said anything about it. Like no one said anything, so I'm
So I
fascinated.
wonder if there was a general consensus that none of them would be doing, like amongst themselves, right? Like as friends, like you and I, like Shannon, we're not going to do Paradise, right? Like you don't want to do Paradise, I don't want to do Paradise, like we're not going to do Paradise. And then they plan to do this podcast as an attempt to, if we're not going to Paradise, like let's capitalize, like let's do the
We'll do
milk, like
this.
let's make a whatever. But I would bet that one, if not all of them, got called to Paradise and then like kind of, whether there was a pact or not, but like broke the pact and was like, I can no longer do this because I'm going to be in Mexico.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, well, let's not like, we'll either wait till you get back or
maybe.
like whatever. But like, I bet that they wouldn't have been able to get out consistent content. I bet it like wouldn't have been possible
Well,
for whatever reason.
True. My thought, though, is that I'm thinking back to not long after the show not wrapped filming, but like the show ended. Chelsea posted an Instagram thirst trap of herself on the beach in a bikini with the caption of "Paradise anyone?" So, to me, I think that this group, at least Chelsea, maybe probably Kit, because Kit was doing the weird Bennett back and forth. Like they weren't like
Whatever
flirting,
that
but they were doing
was.
that public
Yeah.
social media bullshit. Right. And I think the people that will be on Paradise are the people who are very actively hanging out together, because I think that we're just about to enter this like new era or this new vibe of Paradise where we all like knew that they hung out at least a little bit before the show, but with Bachelor in Paradise now it's almost like a given that as everybody walks in, everyone's gonna know each other more than they already have. So for me, I don't really care that I don't get to watch the true like evolution, the beginning of their relationship. I don't care. I loved that Blake bullshit. I didn't love it, it was annoying, but like that drama that the Blake, Hannah G, and Kaylin thing, with Christina. Oh God, it was like crazy.
Will it get to the point where, like, at what point does or where is the line? Like, what really differentiates reality and
I
like
think,
getting to watch a social media story, like getting to watch an Instagram story, social media
yep,
post, like a tag, a like, whatever. Like, Bachelor in Paradise is literally, it's Bachelor in fucking Manhattan. Like, they can cut the shit. You know what I
I
mean?
know.
We don't need a televised show. We don't
Yep,
need to send them to the beach where there's mosquitoes and it's uncomfortable. Like, just have a camera crew following them
they're all
around
fucking
fucking New
right now.
York.
Yeah, honestly,
Listeners, go hang out into the
low
West Village.
key.
You'll get to see Bachelor in Paradise for
I
however you
honestly
want.
can't believe that I didn't actually a massive group, not massive, but like 5 dudes like at one point were just passing by the bistro the other night and all saw Jordan. We're like, "Oh, Jordan, what's up?" And they were like, dabbing up all that shit. And I remember looking at all of their faces being like, "Is one of them bitches from the
Probably.
show too?" Because I wouldn't be surprised. Nope, no, because like I said, I'm chaotic, and I, even despite the masks, I was able to see. I'm like, scanned all their eyes. I was like, none of those guys were on Tayshia's season.
Not
That's for
even a
sure.
night one guy, maybe, that
And
you would
some
have
of them,
forgotten.
no, some of them even dropped their masks down. I was like, no.
Because I could see, and I know that now this is a reach, but like just through the fucking like 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, all of these Bachelor people from like previous seasons know each other. So maybe you even saw like a night one guy from like fucking Becca's
I was
season
gonna say
that happened to know
that,
Jordan.
or I saw future men who will be
Maybe.
on the
But that's what I
Bachelorette.
mean. Like, sure, maybe you didn't recognize them as Bachelor
Literally,
people
yeah.
up front, but like they still could have been, and we'll never know.
Could be on the show eventually. Yeah, for sure. But
Anyway,
anyway, wow, that's wild. So yeah, I if anything, I think that the podcast thing, they probably did, like, if they probably nipped at the being like, no, you can't get this far into like hanging out. Like, obviously we can't control you posting on your stories of all hanging out with each other, but like, hey,
if
don't
you
put a
want to
podcast, like
come
that
on the
podcast
show,
shit is probably
like if you would
contractual.
like to come on the show, this clearly violates the like premise. So we will not let
Yeah,
you on if you're doing
like
this because
we
it
know that.
ruins the illusion.
Yeah, so exactly. So anyway, I kind of hope that it comes back because I am intrigued by the concept. I'm intrigued to see what these people want to talk about. But that's it. I have noticed though with this that there is clearly, and this has always kind of been the case, but with Matt's season, it's almost so stark. There is such a clear New York, LA, or like San Diego, like just like West Coast, East Coast division. And it is insane because so there's the West Coast division, which is all the women I just mentioned, plus more. Like I think, okay, Rachel Kirkconnell, like although that kind of group, Rachel Kirkconnell, what's her face, Kayla, all those girls are West Coast, but then there's the East Coast, or the West Coast girls, I mean, which Katie was hanging out with, and this is like yesterday, like this week. Katie was hanging out in San Diego with Sarah Trott, with Sydney, with Alana, um, and with Cassandra. And I posted this on the
Yes,
story
yes,
today,
yes,
but it
yes.
was like she posted a photo of them being, they were all in the night one limo together. So very good Instagram captioning on that one. But the 4 of them have been posting each other like crazy on their stories, and they were like at brunch all day on Monday, all day yesterday, and like drinking, and they're just like hanging out. And Sarah Trott fucking posted FaceTime with Noah from Tayshia season. So she's FaceTiming Noah while with Katie and Cassandra and all that. And then Katie posts, this is actually the worst because I like all the women that Katie's choosing to hang out with over there, but she posted a dinner with Chasen. Fucking what's his face? What did he say? What was her season? What did he say? The words he was smoke show. She's a smoke show, man.
I hate that still. I
Chasen,
hate that
and
still so much.
I still do too. And I'm sure that that will be some part of his intro for Bachelor in Paradise, like some like smoking, like something, like a smoke show. But there's that. And so it was with Chasen, FaceTiming Noah, and also at dinner with Chris the fucking goose. Like
I
Chris
know.
Randone. I know. I
Okay.
hate it. I know.
That just gave me
I
like
know.
chills. Like
It's disturbing to
I don't
me.
like it.
I know. Chris is like I definitely think that Katie is so okay. So you know when you ever like go to visit friends somewhere like this, because Katie is visiting San Diego, right? So she's visiting her friends, Sarah, who lives there, as well as I don't know if Cassandra lives there exactly, but I'm pretty sure Alana does. Whatever. Either way, Sarah for sure lives there. So it's like she's visiting Sarah, is hanging out there. And I think what happened is she kind of got roped in to going to dinner with these people because Chasen and Sarah have been hanging out. Sarah is friends with Noah. We've all seen that. That was
Right.
after she was eliminated. She was posting that shit. So for me, I feel like what happened with Katie is that maybe who knows? Maybe I want to give her the benefit of the doubt because Chasen and Chris, dude, girl, those are some fucking bottom of the barrel men to be hanging out with if you're gonna choose people from previous
You didn't choose
seasons,
the cool kids.
Ooh, yeah, don't choose. And so what I think happened is that she kind of unintentionally got roped into just hanging out with them because they are friends with Sarah. And Sarah, I will say, I think has questionable choice in her friendships. I mean, we already fucking know with the G-Eazy bullshit and all that shit, but like she was hanging out with Noah, Spencer, and Chasen from Tayshia season. All three of those names, I'm like, the like slimy fuckboy types from Tayshia season. I was not a fan of any of them. So anyway, so she's been hanging out with them, and I'm intrigued. But I think that Chasen and Chris Randone are enjoying the clout bump.
Absolutely, they
That's
are.
for sure.
Chris Randone somehow found a way to make
And
his ex-wife Crystal's pregnancy about himself. So I mean, not like really,
what?
but when she announced her pregnancy, he like took to Twitter or Instagram and was like making cryptic tweets and stories and shit like that. And he knew that people were watching. Like, obviously. It's like
I'm
when
about to
Khloe
go
Kardashian
to
posts those weird
his.
quotes, like those perfectly timed quotes in their Instagram story. And it's like, sure, you can
Yes.
say all you want that you're just being inspirational, but like, you know that this is like a subtweet and like, you know, your fans are decoding every fucking second of this and picking it apart. So, like, this is not an accident. This is
Yep.
incredibly calculated.
Oh
But yeah, he
god.
did shit like
Yeah.
that when
Also
she
his
was like
Instagram.
saying that she was pregnant and excited. So
Well, that fucking makes some sense. Ugh. Yeah, I'm looking at his post divorce shit. So September 27th, 2019. Wait, when did they break
I
up?
don't remember.
I'm looking it up.
I cannot remember.
Crystal and Chris break up. Oh, February 2020.
Okay. Yeah, so about a year ago.
Wow. That was a
I mean,
long
that makes
time
sense
ago.
because she
Okay.
had her baby. So, like, 9 months of pregnancy with someone else. So,
Yeah.
like, that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So his post, so he had a post September 27th, 2019. Obviously, his Instagram is super scrubbed now, so I'm sure there was other, maybe, who knows. But his first post back from post divorce was, sometimes you just need a break in a beautiful place, alone, to figure everything out. A pause between because there's periods between all of those things. Uh, so yeah, and he does not location tag it either, which is hilarious. And I love, I love it because fucking Demario. Do you remember Demario? He
I remember
replies,
him, but what did he
was
say?
here for you, red heart, prayer hands. Also, this was March 9th, so this was literally right before COVID hit. Wow. So wait, when did he announce her pregnancy? Okay, so November 12th. The other day, I asked what people were doing.
I don't want to be.
Yeah, now does he only post about mental health?
I don't know. I
So
was
the
just
the
thinking.
only other post since then. So the next post was a whole like breaking the stigma. It's okay to not have a good day. The next
Sure.
post is like, wow, over 26,000 of you said something, and then the next post is anxiety levels have been wild lately. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and then 2 days until the big 3-3. Oh God, of course. Jess, he's a Sagittarius. I don't claim him.
Poor baby.
But of course
Poor
he is.
baby.
Like, of course he is. Yeah, this past year, I distanced myself from hate and surrounded myself with love. Segment are so corny.
I feel like
Um,
that would be the move. Like
yeah.
I don't want to generalize and say that because maybe it's not a Sagittarius thing. Like I don't want to say like the Sagittarii
No,
as
yeah.
people are like very petty and easily wounded people. But all of
Mm-hmm.
my experiences have demonstrated to me, like the common denominator being that everyone had like Sagittarius placements, but like hell hath no fury like a Sagittarius scorned.
Sagittarius have a lot of pride, and also uh Sagittarius get really pissed when someone else fucks up their like exit strategy. So like a Sagittarius would prefer to be the one who's
For
dumping
sure.
someone
Yeah,
versus getting
of course.
dumped, because getting dumped they were like what the fuck, like, and it shakes them a lot more. But like Sagittariuses are great at leaving relationships. um yeah, but anyway, his posts are definitely annoying because you can always tell that he's annoyed even if it's not pointed. Like there's one caption, I'd rather you slap me in the face with the truth than kiss me with a
Shut up,
lie.
Chris.
um or here's one. Wait, hang on. The one, too late for condolences when it's over with. I need to start saying shit when I notice it. However, I feel like this maybe was some of the shade, which was a photo of him and a little girl, little like kid. It's like missing my favorite little human already. And it's just like his niece, I think. But it's a bunch of pictures of him and his niece. Like a bunch.
I
So
feel like
anyway.
I'm being
Okay.
manipulated.
Digress.
I
Yeah.
feel it.
Digress on Chris. But Katie can't believe you're hanging out with him. Please stop.
Yeah, weird.
Stay. Literally, Chris. Get a job. Stay away from her.
She did a job. He
Get
he
a
he,
job.
think,
Stay away
he
from
thinks that
her.
he's like a financial advisor,
Mm.
which he's not. He's like a pump and dump guy. Like he basically like will buy a
Of
stock
course.
and then he'll tell everybody else to go buy that same stock and then he'll sell it after everyone buys it. That way he makes a bunch of money because he's got like fucking influence in this platform and shit. It's crazy. People who are like
Of
actual
course.
financial advisors or like people that give like financial advice or like stock advice on the internet call Chris Randone out on his shit all the time.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad because someone has to. Because Chris is like what. I would literally never trust anybody on The Bachelor
No.
that would ever be on The Bachelor to do any of that shit with me. All right,
Especially
but
wealth
anyway,
management advisor, i.e.
oh
HR
yeah, fuck
employee
that.
Bennett.
Yeah, no, absolutely
Ha.
not. Well, anyway, on that note, I was gonna talk. We could talk, but I kind of want to save it. I'm thinking about it because I feel like we'll just need to put it on an episode with her. But Katie, her promo.
No, we should talk about our
So
promo
obviously, like the
now.
pro.
Let's talk about it now.
Okay, because that promo dropped. Did you watch it?
Yes. Unfortunately, I
Oh
have
yeah.
seen them.
Oh yeah. I so obviously, she had her weird promos in the white space, but the real promo of the actual like season dropped, and I am intrigued. I am excited. I am uh like I'm excited because it's gonna be chill, hopefully. I'm hoping it doesn't end in a massive racism scandal. Me so you too? Anyway,
There's something
so
about the promo, and I don't know if it's me. Like, I'm gonna try, and when it's actually airing and like it has started as its own thing, I'm gonna try and watch it with an open mind, because I think that I might be like too jaded, too tainted, too whatever to really appreciate anything. The promos have been bad, like inarguably bad, right? Like, we can say the production value was low,
yes.
concept
Well,
is weird.
this one is
It's a
normal.
cut clip.
This one I think
But
was
but I'm talking like
yeah.
everything else, like her actual like promos, not her like sneak peeks, but like her promos have been
No,
tacky and
yeah.
terrible. And this like promo that is a sneak peek disguised as a promo. The moment where she is like, and if you're not here for the right reasons, there's the door. I honest to God was like, this seems so forced and so fake, and like I want to have high hopes for this season, but my brain
I
is telling me that it is going
wonder
to be like this whole season will be a scripted SNL sketch of The Bachelorette. That's what I'm preparing myself for.
damn. Damn, you're doing Katie dirty. I think Katie is gonna be better than what they're
I
showing
hope. I
us.
want that because they're not.
Because I think that the producers are purposefully doing her dirty prior, but they can't completely mute her personality once the show's actually going. You know, like they would have no show. But I do think that Katie I just think that I think what it is we're not used to seeing super both earthy and Saturnian people. Misa, what? He's screaming
I've
at
got
me.
opinions.
um so we don't really see a lot of super earthy and super Saturnian people in lead
Okay.
spots. Like thinking of all of the women. I mean, Tasha was a Virgo, but Virgos fall in line. They'll fall in line real quick to what people want them to do versus a Capricorn like Katie is a little less inclined to do what people tell her to do. So for me, I think the producers were probably annoyed by her because she herself is very much like, I'm very fucking forthright. Also, I was looking at her chart recently and we have to do an episode just on Katie because I pulled so many charts with with my chart twin. We have to have her on for the episode because I was pulling these charts and I was sending them to her of like her announcement date, her tweet about Chris Harrison, her when she started filming, when she arrived at The Bachelor, when she left The Bachelor, because she was posting on TikTok. She was literally on her TikTok the day she left for Matt's season in the airport with a dated, like literally, so it was a filter that she was using on Instagram that was dated and timed. Thank you, Katie. Thank you. Because even though it wasn't like her exact flight or the exact time that she
Close
arrived,
fucking
that
enough.
chart was wild. And so I have that one. She also posted the day she left from the show, and I could tell because it was November 23rd was the day that it was posted. And that is like, oh yeah, you left in 11th place. It's about midway through when they were filming and finishing filming in December. Like, you were home right before Thanksgiving. Like, makes sense. So exactly. So I ran that chart. I ran a bunch of charts, and I think that the way that all of the charts were lining up for her, this is an extreme Saturn story for her. Like Saturn, Pluto specifically, like her transiting Pluto in Capricorn right now is like hitting every Capricorn placement in her chart. So it's like, I think with Katie and what we're seeing, I think we're going to be seeing something stiff because she is super earthy. And also probably on the first couple nights, like that one where she's like, if you're not here for the right reasons, get out the door or whatever. That definitely is probably like night one or night 2 or 3. So it's definitely, I think she's probably still getting comfy. But also, unfortunately, we don't know the whole context. Like maybe that tone seems weird
Well, that's
now,
why
but like within a
I'm
whole
trying to keep an open
speech.
mind,
Yeah.
because to me that reads as like I'm trying to. I have an example that's like sitting in the
Oh, well,
forefront of my brain, and I can't think of like who or what show. It's like one of those tip of my tongue things. But the way that she said it, whether it's the way that it was edited or the way it was cut, like whatever, the way that the words came out of her mouth, it was like painfully reminiscent of someone who is so hyper aware of the fact that they're on reality TV and they're like trying to be the
No,
entertainment. Like, oh my
this
God, do you watch Love
yes.
is Blind?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Giannina.
Huh.
Everything that she said when
Oh,
they were like fighting
Giannina.
in the car about his parents, like, you know, your parents are like that. And it's like, right, but you don't. You don't know them, ma'am. Like, you're trying
Yeah,
to be so
no, this
extra and so
is
dramatic.
fair. Giannita, though.
Well, but like,
Giannita
so
was a
that's the
Leo.
example I mean of like someone who very clearly knows that they're on TV and is like trying to be a good TV personality and like is trying to do what they
Yes.
see on reality TV. That's like the vibe I got
I,
from that clip of Katie, which is why I need context because I don't believe that she
yeah,
would be that person, but that's how I viewed it.
I definitely think that you're right in that she's a Capricorn sun and a Libra rising and a Virgo moon. She's probably very hyper aware of her own, like literally anything she does, even if she's not on camera. Like she's probably that person who's just paying hardcore attention to everything she's doing. Um, but Libra rising, I mean, she wants to look the part and play the part. And I think that she also, I mean, we were talking about this with her first limo exit where she, brings the vibrator, has the whole perfect little line stand up, like she goes in and she's playing with she's like toasting with it and she's like being super funny with it. But so that being said, I think when we talked about her, I was like, she came in, she strategized the shit out of this. Like she was prepped. She knew exactly and she's someone who, I mean, shit, listen to, God, like listening to Game of Roses and listening to Clues talk about her is so funny because he'll just like go off like she knows the game. And I think it's true. Like she
You can't tell
knows
me that
to
she
the
doesn't
point.
listen to that podcast. You
Yeah,
know she does.
exactly, which is why I think when she says those things, it to us, you're immediately people who listen to that podcast, people who just kind of understand. When she talks about it like that, it's almost like, are you scripting or
Right.
you
Like,
just
you
know
know,
what this is about?
yeah.
You know that you have to do this.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm mostly just excited for her season because I'm excited. I think that Katie will bring interesting, like I think that it will. Okay, how about this? I'm just excited for hopefully it to end without a full blown fucking racism scandal.
It can really
That'd
only
be
go up from
great.
here.
Literally only up from fucking here. Yeah,
New
exactly.
hosts, like
And
all this shit. It can
the
only
fact
get
that
better.
Matt and Rachel, we didn't even talk about the fact that Matt and Rachel are back to fucking together again, which I
We knew.
hate.
We
Yeah,
knew,
but it's just
though.
stupid. It's stupid. And it's also stupid because I'm hope, God, I hope that the show doesn't try to put Chris Harrison back on now because they're all fine and dating. Like, oh, well, her racism is fixed because she and Matt are back together. No, that doesn't
Well, it's like,
excuse Chris
even if
Harrison from
her
his
racism
bullshit.
is fixed, he was fired for his racism. So,
Exactly.
granted, not to say that her racism is
Exactly.
fixed, because I don't think that it is. But,
Yeah.
for argument's sake, I hate everybody.
I do too.
That's how I feel
But
about
I
it.
don't. Yet I keep watching the show. It doesn't
Not
matter.
even that. I'm just like,
Whatever.
I'm sick of, I would like for it to be the way that it used to be when, like, once you were done, you had your tenure, you were on the show, you were a cast member, you got off my fucking TV. Maybe you did one stint in Paradise, maybe two, but then you, like, maintained your relevancy in whatever niche you chose. I'm actually very, very tired of this, like, general popularity in, like, Bachelor Nation, in which like they just kind of continually gain fame for existing inside this bubble.
Hashtag influencers.
But like go do what like kind of Catherine and Sean did and like start a fucking mommy blog or something. Like go find your niche and like stick to that. Like the
No,
Bachelor
but Catherine.
umbrella maintaining
Yeah.
your relevancy is like kind of crazy to me. Like you're off the show. You should no longer be relevant to the Bachelor anymore, especially if you're not going on
Nah,
Paradise.
it's fascinating how it has created a little microcosm of a world. Like, I mean, but it's the same though of like, for instance, if there's a second season of Love is Blind, we're gonna hear from Cameron and Lauren again, you know? Like it's
I
gonna
don't think we
that shit
would,
will.
because
I think
Lauren's
that
moved
they could
on to
easily take over
host.
as hosts.
Sure, but like Lauren's moved on to host Match Me If You Can, right? And like Cameron has kind of just done his like weird SpawnCon in relation to what Lauren's doing, but he's been like
Yeah,
had
but
his job
either
outside of
way,
here.
they are still existing in the same reality fandom TV world. Like
I
they're not
guess.
exiting. Like, but it's but like so. But also, Catherine just co-hosted Bachelor Happy Hour with Becca. They're not gone. They're just the
Well, no,
crowned
yeah,
king
you
and
never burn
queen. You know?
bridges, but that's like that in any career. Is like you always keep the
Yeah.
door open just in case there's an opportunity there. But like they have not been actively, they've
Yeah,
been
but Catherine.
capitalizing on Bachelor fandom in their own way without tagging the show in every single one of their Instagram posts.
Oh yeah, those people are annoying. Bachelor Nation people will always try to hang out with Bachelor Nation people as long as it gets them
No,
SpawnCon money.
literally though.
More
I get it. Get
followers,
your bag. I
get the
get it.
bag. But all right. Anyway, it's time, I think, for us to wrap it up because we gotta go. So you can do this and we can go to bed and we can,
Let's wrap
yeah.
it up, baby.
But anyway, good times talking about the psychotic restaurant industry. And also, yeah, Bachelor news. But now oh gosh, so after this, I counted, there will be 3 episodes between now and the premiere. So that being
Yes.
said, one of those episodes, or maybe both of them, 2 of them could be, maybe we could do the men's, go through all the men, find their birthdays and stuff, and we could do those 2 parts, and then we could do Katie, because I think like we need to do a Katie specific episode. You will freak the fuck out, and we're gonna have to have Emily on, my chart twin, aka if you listen to Twin Fire Signs podcast, aka about Taylor Swift, that's Emily. I'm also so fucking excited for this season because I feel like, so with last season, the theme with Matt's was that we were making guesses on his rising sign because we didn't know it. But now with Katie, I get to teach everybody about synastry. Oh, I'm hype. And transits, and like, because we have an actual confirmed, like she sent me her exact to the minute time. So like we have her exact chart. So I'm excited to be able to find all the men's chart and actually lay it over her chart,
Like her
her
real ass
actual chart.
confirmed chart.
Yeah, like I don't have to play the house guessing game. I can be like, yeah, his Venus
Yeah.
falls in this house. Like I can do that. So that way we get to, the theme of this season will be learning about synastry, because compatibility with sun signs is fake.
Heard. Yes, chef.
It can happen with anybody. But anyway, I'm fucking excited. God,
It'll be great.
I feel it. I feel it. I feel it coming back. We're about to be off season. I'm excited. I feel itchy between off. I'm like already this. I'm like, I'm bored. Let's have the show again.
It's
And now
coming. It's
we're gonna be
coming
like,
so
I'm gonna
soon.
hate it or something. Yeah, I know. Wow. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Jess
Let's do the sign
loves you.
off real quick.
Everybody follow us
Yeah,
on
follow
all
us
the
at all the
things.
things. Links
Yeah.
will be down below as per usual.
Yes, and listen to our other podcasts, Twin Fire Signs and Average Bear, because we are Gemini risings with so much to say that we need multiple podcasts. Yes, every platform, especially YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Rate, subscribe, review, comment. Be nice to us.
And we'll see you next week.